Welcome back to the shop. Today's project is something that I've been putting off for a little while until I had some time to really focus on it. And the reason for that is this knife is pretty special to me. This is my father's knife, which belonged to his father, that he brought back from World War II. And some of you will know what this knife is by looking at it, others won't. This is a Cattaraugus 225. There you go, you see that? Very iconic knife from World War II. Most people, when they think of military knives, think of the K-bar. And the K-bar, as far as it being issued, I mean, you can open purchase things down at the PX and stuff, but as far as being issued to you, basically the K-bar was a Marine Corps knife, and everybody else got the Cattaraugus. There is both mystique associated with it as well as some misconceptions. The Q in here does stand for quartermaster. And the misconception around that is that people believe that it was only issued to quartermasters for opening boxes and stuff, and that's just not true. This knife was ordered in the millions for troops, and there's not that many quartermasters. So if you look at pictures from World War II, you will see a lot of people who chose this knife in the Army and the Navy. I don't know if Marines could carry it or not. I really don't know. If one of you knows, please put a comment down below. But this knife then, after the war, was sold as the commando knife. It was never called the commando knife, officially in the service. It wasn't just issued to commandos. But after the war, when there was just absolute truckloads upon truckloads of surplus, they were sold to the public under the name of the commando knife. This is the original sharpened pry bar. I mean, this sucker's thick. And unlike the K-bar, it doesn't have a clip point. It's got, it's almost straight. I guess it's, it's not quite a drop point, but it's in those veins. And you can see just how thick this knife was. I mean, this is definitely a chopping, working knife. This is not a fine slicer by any stretch of the imagination, and this sucker has got some heft to it. Now, so you've probably realized why I'm going to be rebuilding it. It didn't come this way, that's for sure. But like all old military surplus stuff, it got handed down, to your children and stuff, and this one probably got thrown at some trees. Because if you follow that spine up, you'll notice that the handle, the tang, takes a left turn in Albuquerque, right about here. So the tang on these knives, it was a leather handle, and the tang goes down through the handle, and the pommel here is actually 3 pieces. It looks like 3 thick washers, and one of those is actually the lock that locks onto the tang. The tang has a little notch cut in the end like a key slot, and that's what compressed the leather handle and held the knife together. So I'll be cutting all of this off. I will be cutting all of this off, replacing the leather, and obviously straightening that tang. I'll probably have to put a little bit of heat on it and straighten that out, which that won't be a problem because the tang doesn't need to hold an edge. So, a lot of times the tangs are not even heat treated. But even so, I can straighten that up and it'll never affect the temper of the knife. Now, if this was just some knife that I picked up at a flea market, I would regrind this blade, make it a lot prettier. But because of the history associated with this knife, the fact that this knife is near and dear to my dad's heart because of his dad, I'm going to leave it just like this. Maybe I'll clean it some, but I'm not going to take the age away from it because all the scars on this knife are my family history. So until the next installment, thanks for watching.